Life is precious, and we all have the opportunity of living it to the fullest. Unfortunately, so few of us know how to manage it all. How do we account for our opportunities? How do we account for our time? How do we account for our relationships, health, spirituality, homes, finances, influence, and careers? How do we account for the one life we have to live? I am so glad you asked. In this program, you will find answers to all of these questions and more. Welcome to the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the healthy accountant himself, Jay Moore.
What's happening, everybody? What's going on today on the Account for Your Life podcast? Get your breakthrough now, part 4 of 7. And so, wow, what have we discovered so far? What is the obstruction on day number 1? What's the obstruction that's keeping you from your breakthrough? Day number 2, what's the original intent on your life? Day number 3, you have to become more obedient. Obedience is the key to everything. And today is the opportunity of your lifetime, the opportunity of life. A few years ago, I think it was 2012, I was introduced to network marketing. Anybody here been introduced to network marketing? It was given to me as the opportunity of my lifetime. And I went to a meeting. It was an amazing meeting. And I'm talking about, I'm looking at the people on stage, African-American people, I'm talking about a bus driver was up there, him and his wife, ex-government worker, talking about how they made it through. They had their breakthrough and they were sharing it with everybody. And I was looking up there like, oh my goodness, there's no way I can't do this. I have to be able to do this. This is the opportunity of a lifetime. And, so I joined the network marketing company. Now, what they did not tell me, here's what they didn't tell me. Your opportunity of a lifetime doesn't mean it has to be this. Now, because what they were selling was that, hey, look, it makes sense. Everything was about making sense. It makes sense for everyone to switch over their electric bill, their telephone bill, their cell phone bills, and, all the bills in your home, and everyone's going to love it. Here's what I found out quickly. It was not an opportunity of my lifetime. It may have worked already. I think I might have been a little bit late. Because when I went to my friends and family and I went to the people and sharing the opportunity of a lifetime with them, no one quite saw the same thing. Here's what I've discovered in the process, and that's why we're here for breakthrough. And this is why today is important. Like your breakthrough is an opportunity. Your breakthrough is an opportunity. Your breakthrough is the opportunity of your lifetime, literally. Now, here's the thing. Most people, we're trying to break through so we can break through. We're just trying to break through. Oh, let me just break through. I want to have a lot of money. I want to be able to buy the cars. I want to be able to buy the houses. I want to be able to do all the things. I want to be able to travel the world and just have a good old time, just having a good old time. Great. Now, can you do that? Absolutely, you can do that. And there's people that do it. Now, would you want your breakthrough to end? That's the question. See, before you move forward today, you got to ask yourself, would I like my breakthrough to continue to infinity? Would I like my breakthrough to continue through my kids? Would I like my breakthrough to continue through people that I come in contact with so that this breakthrough gets to more people? You got to ask yourself this question. Here's why. Because when you get a breakthrough, it's kind of like a gift. When you get a gift, the gift is not just for you. The gift is not for us to just have it and say, oh, we're so good at this one thing and it's amazing. No, the gift is for helping people to solve a problem. So as we are here moving in a breakthrough, because if you can get to step number 4, if you get to step number 4, you may not. Or it may take you a little bit. It may take you a week or 2 or 3 weeks. Who knows? Well, only because the obstruction. Number 1, I was on the phone with my good friend Jamie, and we are accountability brothers. Like we check in every week. And last night we had, normally we talk on Sunday, but we talked last night for about an hour. And I was sharing with him I was sharing him my breakthrough. I was sharing him, I found my obstruction, Jamie. Jamie, I found it. I'm sharing with him. He was like, oh my goodness. Literally, see, it's going to change his life. And you don't set out to change anybody's life getting your breakthrough. What you discover is that there's more people like you who need the same breakthrough. And when you show up, all of a sudden people say, oh, shoot, wait, that's helping me. And we had a conversation for about an hour last night. And he says, Jay, he says, number one, he says, the obstruction, he says, right now, he says, bro, I got a lot of thinking to do. Because what you just shared with me is game changing right now in me right now. So the point of this breakthrough challenge, and I didn't even call it a challenge. I'm not going to call it a challenge. The point of these 7 sessions that I'm doing on my podcast is that I was looking for a breakthrough. I was personally out looking around saying to myself, okay, I've broken through in some other areas, but there's a major area that I have to break through because there are millions of people. That doesn't mean that I'll get to the millions. What if I helped you that's watching this podcast today? What if I helped a few that helped a few that helped a few? Almost like network marketing. You know how network marketing works: 2 gets 2, 3 get 3, and so on and so forth and so on. And all of a sudden it's huge. But what if that happened? I don't have to get to the world. You don't have to get to the world, but we do have to get to the world with our opportunity. Your opportunity is you. See, many people right now are looking for the best opportunity. Many people. There's not many people on the planet. Kids are going to school, going to college. People are getting, certifications, and people are getting more education because they're working on some form of opportunity. What if I told you that you are the opportunity? You are. Now, while you're working on your opportunity, you being the opportunity, yes, you're going to probably have to work because you probably got responsibilities. Yes, you're probably going to have to focus in on the things that you got to do today and get your bills paid. Yes, you got to do those things. I would challenge you today that every minute outside of you having to do those responsible things, that you focus in on discovering your obstruction. That you focus in on what's the original intent for my life. That you just focus in on, wait a second, what should I be obedient to? That you focus in today on you being the opportunity, because getting through your breakthrough is what's going to literally, it's going to make your life the best that it ever could be. See, in 2019, January, when I was just out doing what I normally do, I go to the gym and listen. I don't do this anymore, but I used to listen to motivational videos. I needed motivation in the gym, just because I liked listening to it. I don't listen to motivation anymore because I'm motivated already. But 2019, I still needed motivation. And I'm listening. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever heard something that changed your life? I heard something that changed my life, January of 2019. Here it is, we're 4 years removed from that day. And I guess I have to dedicate this to Dr. Miles Monroe, because, and this is big because I didn't know that I was going to do this. I have to dedicate this to Dr. Miles because it was when I heard his voice. It was when I heard his voice, I knew something changed in me. Yesterday, I was on the Wisdom Challenge, and a gentleman by the name of Rob Carpenter was on there with Pedro Adeo, and they were going through chapter 23. In chapter 23 is one of the greatest texts ever written in Proverbs. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And it was a powerful day on the Wisdom Challenge. And just to discover that, our thinking, and I'm going to quote some things that I wrote down. Our thinking is what does everything. Here's what Dr. Rob Carpenter said yesterday. I'm going to quote a few things that he said. He says, change does not begin in your hands. It begins in your hearts, or it begins in your thoughts. Number 2, your mind has 2 functions. It remembers and it imagines. I'm going to stop right here because think about this. If you are working towards a breakthrough and you wanted to do something, or you wanted to get to a place or have something, it means you have to change. The problem that many of us have is what we remember. We tend to remember all the negative and not realize we can imagine our way out of the situation. Like I imagined my way into this breakthrough series. I was thinking, it was my thinking that got me to say something. Oh, breakthrough. What's a oh, I can have a breakthrough. And what is a breakthrough? Here's what a breakthrough is: a sudden, dramatic, and important discovery or development. Here, oh my goodness, man, I just know where I'm supposed to be. I know the intent for I know what God's intent is for my life. I'm kind of like a messenger. I'm an agent, someone who gets out there and spreads the news, the message of what people can experience and what people can expect in their life. If they did, man, I can have a breakthrough today. It says it's a sudden, dramatic, important discovery or development. Right now, this is so important. When I had the discussion with my niece back in December, it was her not having an obstruction in her that literally led me to knowing, oh my goodness, this is the key. I said, girl, you've been walking around with the key and you didn't even know you had it. That's what I told her. And when we talked Friday night again, I said, girl, you are a walking breakthrough. She suddenly and dramatically learned how to play the piano in an instant. She didn't realize. Here it is. We are 10 years removed from when she first had this breakthrough. Not 10, maybe a little bit more than 10 years. Your breakthrough is your opportunity. Now let's keep going. I'm going to give you some more wisdom that I got from Dr. Rob Carpenter yesterday. If you get your mind free, you get your life free. Your mind. Guys, you got to go get the book Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. It's an amazing book. It will blow your mind. If you want to increase where you go, this is a good one. You got to increase what you know. I'm going to tell you, this was powerful for me. When I heard Dr. Miles in my ear, I said, I will learn, I will read, I will listen to whatever words I need to listen to and do whatever I need to do in order to become the change agent that he said I should be. I never met Dr. Miles, but he told me, Jay, you are a change agent. Get out there and make change. Before you do it, you're going to have to get some knowledge. And I'm going to tell you, when I learned what knowledge to get, when I heard his voice, and it was almost like the voice of God, almost, because obviously he's not God, but he was a conduit that God used. He was a conduit that God used. Yesterday, we talked about Joshua, and Joshua, here it is. He was Moses's understudy. He was Moses's mentee. And he was complaining about the fact, man, Moses is gone, is what he told God. Man, Moses is gone. The servant of the Lord is gone. What am I to do? Lord says, boy, let me tell you what you are. Let me explain to you the opportunity that sits in front of you. And when he got finished telling Joshua who he was, Joshua didn't have no fear. Joshua became one of the greatest of all times when it comes to people. He was an understudy and became one of the greatest of all time, coming behind somebody as great as Moses. Let me ask you this question. What's in your hand? I've got one other story I'm going to share with you from a principle in the Bible before we get out of here. What's in your hand? I'm going to share a story with you about someone who had the worst. His His life was marked for failure. Are you ready for this? His life was marked for failure. And because his life was marked for failure, he had to choose something different. Are you familiar with Jabez? Are you familiar with the story, which is, it's not even a story. It's an excerpt. It's almost like, wait a second, they didn't even go into anything. They didn't even, they didn't even, they didn't even give it like anything worth us saying anything about his family. All it says, I mean, it's so short. Let me pull this up in the Bible. Was this First Chronicles 4, 9, and 10? I'm gonna pull this up. I'm gonna read it, and then we're gonna get out of here. I've got some things I need to get on. And First Chronicles 4, 9, and 10. And Jabez called out. No. Let me go to verse 9. This is powerful here. Verse 9 of First Chronicles 4, 9 through 11. And Jabez was more honorable than his brethren. And his mother called his name Jabez because I bore him in with sorrow. His name meant sorrow. His name meant pain. Let's keep going. And Jabez called out to the God of Israel, saying, oh, that you would bless me indeed and enlarge my coast, and that thine hand would be with me, that thou wouldest keep me from evil, that it may not grieve me. And God granted him that which he requested. His life was marked for failure. He realized that he didn't want that opportunity. He felt like I could expect more of myself. I am an opportunity is what he believed that day when he called out to the God of Israel. He said, I heard some things about what God did for my people. Can he do it for me? Let me ask you a question. Can God do that for you? Can God take a bad situation and make it the best that it could, the best that you couldn't believe? When the story is written later on in my life, you will know what God did fully. But today, we're just going to focus on Jabez because it's like I was Jabez. I cried out to the God of Israel. Even though my name did not mean sorrow, my name means enlargement. So if my name is enlargement, then that means you have to enlarge my coast. You have to take me into a new land. You have to help me where I don't know how to do it. So that means because my name is that, you have to do it. No obstruction. You're the opportunity. So today, as you look for your breakthrough, maybe you haven't found your obstruction yet. Think about Jabez. Think about his name, the fact that his name was leading him to sorrow and pain. Everyone knew him as that. He says, enough is enough. I'm going to do something different. I'm just going to ask God to do it for me. Now, I'm going to caution you here as I close. God can only do things with you. He's not going to do things for you. So even though Jabez cried out, we don't hear the whole story. Jabez still had to get out there and man those fields. Jabez still had to get out there and work that cattle. Jabez still had to work. So God can do far more than we can imagine through the power working in us. Yes, God can do all of those things. But we've got to first take the step forward in full expectation that when we ask, we know that he did it. Not will do it, that he did it. So today, look at your life. Ask yourself today, what's in my hand? What breakthrough do you have to get that would help other people? You have to get this breakthrough, because when you get that breakthrough, this breakthrough is not just going to help you. Maybe it's just a few people, but like I said, a few people can mean thousands of people through the people that you help. There's a whole industry that's been created just so that you can take your opportunity into it. Coaching. Coaching was created so that people with a breakthrough had somewhere to go. So if you didn't have a business, you could actually start a business with your breakthrough. That's a story for another day. But today, your breakthrough is your opportunity. Maybe you have to listen to this again a second time, but all I can tell you is God is with you. God is looking for you. Look at Jabez, and let's all look at what's in our hand. Our breakthrough is the opportunity. Guys, I appreciate you for joining me for this episode of the Account for Your Life podcast. This is Jay Moore, the Healthy Accountant, helping you to account for your life. God bless. I'll see you on the next episode. Peace.
Thanks for joining us, listening friends. We are so glad you invested this time with us. Always remember, you only have one life to live, so live it to the fullest. This has been the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the Healthy Accountant himself, Jay Moore. Until next time, make it a great day.